Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about the dev stream that just happened yesterday. We have a whole lot of news to talk about. We got some information about the radar, some other housekeeping stuff, which I'm going to go over in a second. But we have the move combos of the Shinobi and the Centurion. I'm super excited about this, but this is going to be a very long video, so I'm going to try my best to condense everything as much as I can. I will link the patch notes down below, and of course the Warriors Den live stream thing if you want to check it out yourself, because I'm just going to be going briefly over everything, because if I was to go into detail with everything, we will be here for literally hours. But first of all, guys, let's do some housekeeping and get some stuff out of the way before we get to the Centurion and the Shinobi. So first up, there will be a Viking celebration bundle. Now this will have in it an ornament and an execution. From what I know about this, everyone's able to buy this thing. I think the numbers floating around, it's like 50% off steel wise for what these ornaments and executions would normally cost, but we have no idea if this is going to be RNG based or not, depending on which ornaments and executions you get. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Next up, they fixed the unlock exploit that everyone was using. Basically, some people calling it unlock tech. It's not. Let's be honest, it's a fucking bug and it was an exploit. So that has been removed from the game, apparently. I hope it is removed from the game because it was freaking annoying. And they also removed the guard break feint exploit everyone was using as well. So those two are now gone, and good riddance. Next up, this is something I've been wanting to hear for a very goddamn long time. They're now changing the guard switching speed on all characters to be exactly the same. I have no idea why this wasn't the thing to begin with, because right now if you're playing a Raider, a Lawbringer, a Nobushi, Kensei, any of those characters, their guard switching speed is really slow compared to, say, Peacekeeper and the other assassins. That's why light attack spam is such a big fucking problem, especially on consoles. So they're going to be changing the guard switching speeds to be exactly the same speed for everybody, which should have been in the game to begin with, but I'm really happy they're doing it now at least. Next up, they said that Warlord is in a really good place and is very balanced, and they are happy with where he is right now. They're not going to be nerfing him, apparently. I don't know, chat went off fucking real hard when it came to this. For anyone who mains a Warlord, of course, you think Warlord's in a good place, unless, you know, you're not biased in that scenario. But Warlord is really overpowered and needs a rework of some sort, or just needs to be actually nerfed. Not the nerf they gave him before, which actually did nothing in the reality of it. So, yeah, if you're hoping for a Warlord nerf anytime soon, it's not happening. So, yeah, we just have to deal with that. The Nordic Turtle will keep reigning supreme. Next up, the Peacekeeper got another nerf, this time to her triple stab combo. So the overall damage of the triple stab has been nerfed, the numbers are down, but what they did was on the first two stabs, they now do 8 damage apiece, and then the last stab will do 16 damage. They're basically trying to get rid of the thing people are doing now where they'll do 2 stabs, they'll kick someone off into a wall and follow it up with a heavy. They're trying to get rid of that, so this is their way of getting rid of that. So now you might actually want to do the last stab because it does the most amount of damage. The first 2 stabs, like I said, they're nerfed, but overall the whole damage of it, even if you do all 3 stabs, the overall damage has been nerfed. Poor Peacekeeper cannot catch a break. So Raiders out in the world, rejoice, you are now becoming legendary. You're finally getting your buff. There is one thing they're not buffing, which is kind of stupid on the Raider, which was a no-brainer, but hey, at least the rest of his kit is getting a buff. So I'm going to read off some things that are changing. So they have increased his stamina pool, so he'll have more stamina in order to do more abilities. He won't be going so much. They've given him more chain options, so I think it's all revolving around his like stunning tap thing. Like I'm pretty sure you can cancel any move into a stunning tap now, I read somewhere, and there's just, yeah, basically there's giving him a lot more options in terms of chains and combos he can do, and they are giving a few more of his moves more damage. So I think one of the ones I heard in the stream was when he does his, like, you know, you pick someone up and you run and slam them into the wall and you knee them in the face. Apparently when you knee them in the face, that will do damage now. And then basically he's just getting more damage overall. He's getting more stamina and he's getting more chain combo options, so he has more versatility, which is a great thing, and it's good to see him finally getting some buffs. But there is one thing that people have been asking for the longest time, and he is not getting anything from this, and that is the ability to land a heavy after a guard break. He still can't do that, apparently. You have to do all his weird shenanigans in order to try and get a heavy. Once again, don't know why they don't just give him a free heavy after a guard break like every single other character in the game, but oh well, at least he's getting some buffs, and with the current state of the game, that's pretty damn cool. At least he's getting something. And lastly, Season 2 will be starting at 8 AM Eastern Time and 12 PM UTC, so just jump on Google and like find out where that is, wherever you're from out in the world, because I have lots of people from all over the place watching me, which is pretty damn cool. Alright guys, so that is the housekeeping done. Now we're going to be moving on to the Centurion. I cannot wait to play this guy. He looks really fucking cool. I'm just excited as fuck, and it's not long now. Like on Tuesday, we're going to be able to play play this guy like 4 days away or some shit. It's going to be amazing, at least if you have the season pass. But first up, he has very fast light attacks. For anyone who was hoping that they would like, you know, start slowing down light attacks, no, both him and the Shinobi, they have very fast light attacks. So expect, if you're on console and you're already struggling with the light attack spam, expect that to continue, and you know everyone's going to be playing these characters, so yeah, it's going to be quite the clusterfuck for you. But keep in mind, he does have short range like the Warlord, so he's not exactly got long ranged attacks, except he is able to charge his heavy attacks in order to get additional range. So he's able to, you know, start charging up a heavy attack, and he does like a bit of a run, and then he'll come out and he'll stab people, which is pretty damn cool because you can follow that up. You can sort of be like short range, so you can go a bunch of quick light attacks, and then if they dodge backwards, you can charge up a heavy run in and stab them. The range is pretty deceiving apparently, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how people use that. Now, a lot of his moves drain stamina, okay? And his kit revolves around draining your opponent's stamina, throwing them on the ground, and then following it up with this giant like leap attack thing where he jumps up and stabs them on the ground, and it does massive damage. Now, apparently, from what Roman said, the developer himself, from what he said, this attack can pretty much 2 to 3 shot people. So if you land this move 2 or 3 times, they're dead. Now, he's got an ability to basically punch people in the face. You can charge it up. So you can just punch them in the face quickly, which will drain their stamina and knock them back a bit, or you can charge that up and you can basically punch them in the face, and even if they have full stamina, they will still fall over, and then you can follow that up with that jumping leap attack and stab them and do a fuckload of damage. I don't know what the recovery time is on that move, like once you get knocked down. I don't know if he has enough time to jump, land, and stab you, or if you can maybe dodge it or block it. But if he can just basically punch you over and do that move all the time, people are going to be spamming that and just 2 or 3 shotting people, so it's going to be quite insane to see how that plays out. Now, although he is classed as a hybrid, so he's an assassin and a vanguard, he does not have a deflect ability like the assassins. Instead, he has a solid guard. So he doesn't have the, you know, the fading guard like the assassins has. He has a solid guard like every other character bar the assassins, which I preferred. I was hoping he would have a solid guard because, like I said, if I'm going to be punching people all around the place and shoving people over and basically being a bully, I don't want to have like a non-solid guard because that would be kind of fucked. Now, at the end of every single one of his chain moves, if he finishes it with a charged up heavy attack, that charged up heavy attack not only once again has that longer range, but it also becomes an unblockable attack. It's quite insane. You can go, you know, light, punch him in the face, and then because that counts as a combo, you can then charge up that heavy for an unblockable. It's going to be fucking insane, and I can't wait to actually start doing that to people. Now, after you guard break someone, normally you would guard break someone. If you want to throw them, they basically stumble back a bit, or you can throw them into spikes or off a cliff or something like that. But he has the ability, after he guard breaks someone, to throw them and then follow it up with a kick. So he can basically guard break, throw them, and just kick them, and it basically does an additional knockback, and it has like a stun property to it. So I'm assuming he can then follow that up with like a charged up, like heavy attack or something. So it's going to be quite cool. It also means that he can get extra distance. So if you want to throw someone off a cliff over there, you can guard break them, throw them, and then kick them, and they might actually go off the cliff because they have that additional like knockback effect on them. So if you didn't like being ledged before, it looks like he's going to have the ability to ledge people a lot easier, and the Shinobi, when we get into him, can fucking ledge people like it's no one's business. He's going to be insane when it comes to just throwing people off cliffs and throwing people into like spikes and shit. It's going to be nuts. I'll get into that later though. Now, one last thing I want to go over. After you land a charged heavy attack, your opponent will be momentarily pinned, okay? So the way this works is you charge up your heavy attack, you run in, you stab them, they get pinned, and then you follow up by a guard break, and you basically punch them in the face. So you'll do that jab move, which is quite cool. He has a lot of stuff when it comes to pushing people around and just shoving people over. Now, like they said, his entire kit revolves around draining people's stamina and just basically trying everything you can to drain their stamina, punch them around, get them on the ground, so that way you can do that big fucking jumping attack, which will basically kill them outright if they only have half health left or a quarter health left, however much damage it does depending on the character you play. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how people react. So that, guys, is the Centurion. But for now, we're going to be moving on to the Shinobi. Now, first up, his disappear move, the one where he sort of like dodges to the side, disappears, and kicks the guy in the back of the head. I was correct. It is off a deflect, okay? But there is an additional things to it that I didn't know about. So when you do his deflect, you will basically disappear. You'll pop up behind them, or you'll like, you know, dash through them and pop up behind them. But you can follow it up with a light attack or a kick. So he has a kick as well, which will knock people away. Now in the video, which you can probably see in the background at some point while I'm talking, basically he's standing next to a ledge, okay? The guy walks up to him, goes to attack him, he deflects, teleports through the guy, and then kicks him off the ledge. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Shinobis doing that. They're going to basically be standing near a ledge. If they're standing near a ledge, don't fucking go near them, okay? Because they're waiting for you to attack. They're going to just deflect and kick you off the ledge. It's insane how quick it is, and it's insane just how well it works. Like in the video, when you guys see it in the background, it is crazy how fast his deflect actually, like him teleporting and kicking is. You can't react to it, and you're just going to be going like flying off the cliff. It's going to suck. So he is the brand new ledge bringer, so please stay away from a Shinobi if you're standing near a ledge. Now, one additional thing, his deflect also has a bleed on it. Even if he doesn't follow it up with light attack or a kick, you're going to cop a bleed just from him deflecting, so keep that in mind as well. There's going to be a lot of people learning how to deflect after they start playing the Shinobi. Now, he has another thing which is quite cool, and it's the official meme of the Shinobi, and that is the double sprint with his little Naruto run where he does that sort of thing. But it's a double sprint, so what he can do is you have your regular sprint. So if you two are basically, he's chasing someone and you're sprinting at the exact same speed, the Shinobi can double sprint, which means he's going to catch you, okay? He moves a lot faster than someone regularly sprinting, but it does drain stamina, so keep that in mind. So once again, there's no point double sprinting after someone, finally catching them and then having no stamina. So it's going to be a bit of a give and take. We have no idea how fast his stamina drains, but I'm assuming they're going to want to make it pretty fast to give him, like, you know, bursts of speed rather than just something he can just sustain a whole bunch, which would be overpowered as shit, because people already complain about trying to catch the Peacekeeper and Orochis and shit. Can you imagine trying to catch this guy with his double sprint? It's going to be insane. Now, one of the most overpowered things about his kit, in my personal opinion, he has a double dodge. Okay, so what this guy can do is he can dodge one way and then dodge back the other way, like instantly. So he can go dodge, dodge, and then light attack, okay? And because his light attack is so goddamn quick, he's pretty much going to get it off. Because if he dodges this way, most people are used to someone's dodging that way. They're going to maybe do a light attack or something. But he's going to dodge, dodge, and then attack you from the opposite way, and you're going to get hit. But once again, the double dodge drains stamina. So normal dodge, and then your second dodge will drain stamina. Keep that in mind. And if you're trying to abuse it and just basically double dodge all over the place, you're going to run out of stamina. And then, of course, if you're versing a Centurion, you're pretty much going to be fucked. He's going to bend you over. Now, he has a backflip disengage, okay? But the really interesting thing about this, and the thing that I think is extremely overpowered, but he needs it when you realize later on a few things I'm going to tell you, he kind of needs this. But after he lands a light attack, a heavy attack, or a kick, he can do that backflip disengage. So he can land a light attack and backflip. He can land a heavy attack and backflip away. He can land a kick and backflip away. So he's really fucking good at keeping distance, okay? So it's going to be really hard to catch this guy, especially with, like I said, how fast his light attacks are. He just needs to light attack, jump away, light attack, jump away, and he can pretty much just try and chip you down if he really wants to. So we might see some really annoying playstyles come out when it comes to the Shinobi. We'll have to wait and see. Now, he's able to charge up his heavy attack like the Conqueror, but from a distance. So he can charge up his heavy attack from a distance, and then he can throw it out, and he can basically just stab people from a distance. But what he can do is, as he's charging up his heavy attack, he can do a forward roll by hitting the dodge button while he's charging that heavy attack. So not only does he have the backflip, but he also has the forward roll. So what he can do is he can charge up the heavy attack, cancel it by forward rolling at you. He can stab you with a light attack or maybe a heavy attack or something, and then basically just backflip away and then just rinse and repeat. He's going to be quite insane. Now, he has another mix-up he can do when it comes to that forward roll. So if you think he's just going to forward roll at you and attack you, you're 100% wrong, because what he can do is he can charge up his heavy attack, he can forward roll, and instead of attacking you, he can hit guard break and do a kick, okay? So once again, if you're near a ledge or if you're near any form of hazard, if he wants, he can charge up his heavy attack. You're thinking he's going to throw it at you, and then instead he rolls forward. You think he might, you know, light attack you, but instead he kicks you. You go flying back and you get spiked. The amount of just mind game mix-ups this guy's going to have is pretty insane, because he has some additional things he can do with his ranged attack as well, which I'll get into in a second. But first, I want to let everybody know, do not despair. It's not like he's going to have Lawbringer levels of health. In fact, the Shinobi is going to have the smallest health pool in the entire game. Okay, he only has 3.5 bars worth of health. I think it might be 3.25. It's still a debate on whether it's a half or a quarter. Best case scenario, he only has 3.5 bars of health, which means you can pretty much two-hit him with a couple of heavies. Or if you're the, I'm really curious to see how much damage the Centurion, like jumping, huge damage attack does. Because if he can 2 to 3 hit a Lawbringer, do you reckon he can 1 hit a Shinobi? That would be quite interesting to see. So yeah, it's going to be very tough playing the Shinobi with the fact that you have to learn to master this guy, and you have to be extremely fucking slippery with all his backflips and his forward rolls, his disengage teleports, all that sort of shit. You're going to need to master it, because if you can't master those things, you are going to die a lot, because he only has 3.5 bars of health, and that is fucking nothing. That's less than the Peacekeeper, and the Peacekeeper already struggles. So in line with him having no health, the way he works, he's not a big damage character apparently, okay? It seems his whole design is around being extremely slippery and doing chip damage, okay? So he does little bits of damage and wears someone down. He's not the type of character who's supposed to be able to just run in and just absolutely, like, you know, 2 or 3 hit someone like the Centurion's supposed to be. So keep that in mind. He's supposed to be a slippery type character who's really good at dodging and moving around and doing small amounts of damage. Now, finishing up with the Shinobi, he has a ranged attack, okay? So that ranged attack I was talking about, you can charge it up and you can throw it out and do damage from a distance, okay? But he also has a ranged guard break, so he can charge that thing up, he can throw it out, and he can guard break them from a distance. Now, if he lands the guard break, he pulls them forward, and then of course there's still guard break, so we can follow that up with some attacks. Now, do not fear. I was very worried about this move, that it was going to be completely fucking overpowered in every way, shape, or form, but the way that they've done it, it actually feels a little bit balanced. So the way this works is you can charge up that attack, you can throw it out, but if the enemy parries your attack, you get pulled to the enemy and you get thrown onto the ground. Now, once again, if you get thrown onto the ground and you're versing the Centurion, you better fucking believe your ass he's going to be jumping into the air and landing on you with that combo, if he can. I hope he can, because that'd be pretty fucking cool. Keep in mind, as soon as you get thrown onto the ground, you're probably going to cop either a heavy or something like that, and we don't know what the recovery time is of you getting back up after you get thrown onto the ground. Let's be honest, it's either way you're going to be taking damage, and the fact you only have 3.5 bars of health, it's not going to be good. So I can kind of see people maybe never using the charge up throwing attack, just out of fear of getting pulled to the ground and then getting fucked up. But the guard break one is interesting, okay? So he can do the charge up, and when he throws it out and he throws out the guard break, if the person counter guard breaks, once again you get pulled and thrown onto the ground. So keep that in mind. Although you do have this ranged attack that is pretty damn cool and it's pretty damn overpowered, it does have its drawbacks. If they parry you, if they're quick enough to parry you, or if they're quick enough on their counter guard break, you will be pulled to the ground and they will molest you. So keep that in mind. Basically, I went through and I just picked out all the crazy shit from the Shinobi and the Centurion. If you want to check out all of their actual movesets, it's linked in the description down below. If you want to check out the new patch notes as well, I'll link those in the description down below. But that is all the news we have for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts about these changes. What do you think about the Shinobi's moves now that we know what they do? And what do you think about the Centurion's moves now that we know what they do? Do you think they're overpowered as shit? Or do you think that they're going to be okay and not too far ahead of everyone else? I really want to hear from you guys. Are you guys still going to go for that Shinobi now that you know how tricky he's going to be, even though he has jack-all health? Or are you still going to go for that Centurion and just be a bad motherfucker, fucking people up for the glory of Rome? So let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.